Let's look at the study questions for reading 13, Declaration of Independence. Number one, what is this document for? What is it meant to do or accomplish? I think that's a good question to ask yourself about anything that you read. That's expository, that is not just a simple narrative or poetry. Or I mean, what is this? This is a many of the things we read are meant to at least to establish some point, and it is always good to try to clarify for yourself what that point is. That this document, in a even more substantive, focused sense, is meant to do something, not just to make a point. Although I think it's trying to make a point, but actually do something. And I suppose what it does is, in some official way, dissolve whatever political association colonies of North America had with Great Britain. So it actually does something. It's an action as well as a document. Maybe you could also say it's meant to accomplish a justification of that. Number two, what do you think is meant by the laws of nature and of nature's God? You got me. There is some suggestion in various classes that by referring to God as nature's God, that was meant to be as inclusive as possible, as non-sectarian as possible. So, we're claiming the kind of approval of God here, but it's a very general, almost generic notion of God. Nature's God. It's not the God of any revelation. It's the God of that that you can sort of, I suppose, in this rational way, see as got to be the creator of the universe, sort of behind nature and things like that. So I guess it's tough. I don't know. It's about as good as I can do. What does it mean for something to be self-evident? Self-evident truths are truths that are known to be true without proof. That is, once we understand what's being said, the idea is that a self-evident truth, or that with a self-evident truth, we also can see that it is true. Unlike all sorts of other truths where the thing may be true, but it needs to have some kind of proof. Whereas a self-evident truth doesn't need any kind of supporting argument or proof to show that it's true. It shows itself to be true. It's a very large claim for anything to say that it is a self-evident truth. We hold these truths to be self-evident. What does it mean for something to be unalienable? My understanding of that is that it cannot be taken away. It cannot be given away. You cannot alienate yourself from this. I mean, if we own something, if we have property, it belongs to us, but we can alienate that property by giving it away, selling it. But our rights aren't like that. Our rights are unalienable. They are with us forever. Number five, what are the supposedly unalienable rights that the document lists? I mean, it's just an exercise in actually thinking about what they claim to be unalienable. That all men are created equal. That's well, I mean, that's an unalienable. That's a self-evident truth. I'm sorry. The unalienable rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, which is interesting. It also says among these unalienable rights, so it's not meant to be a complete or exhaustive list. What does the document say is the purpose of government? I suppose the protection of rights. We isn't that what it says? Yeah, that in order to protect these rights, governments are instituted among men. I think that's more or less what it says, which is interesting because it more or less says this. I mean, very similar thing to the Declaration of the Rights of Man. Number seven, why does the document list the train of abuses and usurpations that takes up most of the document? What is this list meant to establish? I think it's meant to justify the decision to rebel, to dissolve the so-called political bonds. The document is an interesting structure. We are breaking free, and here is why. That is the decent respect to the opinions of mankind. Require that you give your reasons, and those are the reasons.